Yes, so now I'm be rocking this white shirt, you know, cause I gotta flip the script, you know, and you know, just represent that. Hey, you know, we're training cause we love to train, and I mentioned like how I really start to see like how great it is when, you know, you're just training because you love to train. You didn't care about the rank, and then you got this rocking this white shirt. And Todai Bai is the same thing. You know, he's just like rocking the white shirt. He's just training just to train. And that's really what I see that it boils down to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like...
Well, even the Sigang just wears the right white shirt, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I'm bringing it back, you know, like this is how it's supposed to be, you know? Like just train.
Yeah, in a way, I mean, you can just see if rank means a whole lot to somebody, there's something wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, psychologically, they're not in it for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so, you know, just like do all these experiences and trial and error, and just basically trying to like turn the, you know, get the business, you know, have a martial arts school that's governed by business. Like you see the challenges of how it is to share the martial arts to the public, you know, and how you know how like things had to be done in a certain way, and really I want to change up some of these labels that we using to kind of follow more of like a business model that people understand and are used to, like just basically like managers. We need managers here, you know what I'm saying? Like I need like a management team. Like it's just by myself, it limits the growth. I need a management team. I need like an accountant, which you know, hopefully Jenny will be that, you know, and she is that. I need like a paralegal or a lawyer or something. You know, I need like a marketing, somebody that's a marketing department. You know, I need maybe a charity department, or it's just, I mean, I need like managers to help me manage. And this has this is like the corporate like business model, what all these companies are built on, and why they're so successful. If we don't follow that same model, we're gonna crumble. Just like the problems that I've seen right now. I'm having some huge issues right now, and just because everybody's got six packs is not fucking resolving anything. You know what I'm saying? Oh, just because everybody's strong, they ain't resolving the business. Like the business is falling apart because people don't got like the right mentality, and they don't got the spiritual development. It's like, you know. And I'm not saying that just because you're a manager you deserve a black belt now, or that you're a Sifu. No, I mean you're a part of the management team that helped build FMK. You know what I'm saying? And and you know, the managers could be in shape, they could be out of shape. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, you know, they're helping the Kwoon grow. And then the people that just all they care about the fitness, they're the customers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that's all they care about, they're the customers. You know, there's nothing wrong with being a customer as long as you're paying. Yeah, then that's good. Hey, come back. You're a good customer. But, you know, but then you got the management team that deserves extra training because they're a part of the management team. You know what I'm saying? And they want to help. You know what I'm saying? So they deserve like extra training to be a better manager. You know what I'm saying? So basically, a lot of these videos that I'm gonna put out there now, it's not even gonna be like Todai update. It's gonna be more like FMK management team update. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are the ones interested in being a manager for FMK? Then you need to watch this video, because we had a very important discussion. This is our meeting, talking about the the management of FMK. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't care to be a manager, then you don't need to watch it. But if you want to be a manager, then you should watch this video, because we're talking about things that are very important for the growth of the Kwoon. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to follow more of the business model in order to like basically identify the people to basically get them to really try to understand a little bit more thoroughly like how it's supposed to be, you know, governed, like this Kwoon. You know, because, you know, using all these labels like disciples and Sifu and all this other stuff, the people, like, they don't understand it, and really it's hard for them to understand something that they never really experienced before in their lives, you know? And it's like, you know, what they understand is the business model. And it's like, alright, I gotta approach it in a business model aspect. But then for the management team, the few people in the management team, they need to understand what a Sifu is, a Todai is, and what being a part of a family is. You know, if you're really a part of the family, you're not supposed to be turning against each other. You know what I'm saying? You just created the division. You know, and that is a huge issue. You know, so there has to be a deep understanding between the management team of what like a family is. You know what I'm saying? So there's just got to be like a lot of like, it's got to be like a better clarification of like the separation between the business and then the management, and just like, you know, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? You might have like somebody, you know, I talked to a guy in a bike shop. He works at a bike shop, and he says that he loves bikes, so every time, all the money he makes, he spends it right back on the bike. He comes out there with nothing, and it's just the bikes that he didn't even make money. It's just the money he makes, he just spends that on the bike. And it's really like, in a way, like being a part of the management team is kind of like that. You train, and then you know you help the Kwoon, and then all of a sudden the money goes back to the Kwoon. It's almost like that, in a way, like the non-profit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, all this effort that you're putting in, it goes right back to the Kwoon. And it's not for yourself. It's not like you're going to make all this money and then buy, like, you know, a $2 billion home or something. You know what I mean? You know, you be making the money, and then maybe, like, we might expand the Kwoon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a part of being a part of the family. But if it's all about me, and I need to get the best deal for myself, and as long as I get in shape, as long as I learn good technique, so that I can make my own school, then no. You know, you're not a part of this, like, management team. You're actually in it for yourself. If you're in it for yourself, then I gotta make sure that you're paying the proper rate. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're paying me $50 an hour for self-defense, okay, then I'll probably teach you for that hour. But if you're, don't expect me to teach you self-defense for $5 an hour and shit like that. Do you know what I'm saying? No. You know, it's like, that's not gonna be the case. Because, you know, for that $5 an hour, you learn that, and all of a sudden, now you start teaching other people, and you profited $500 when I only charge you $5. You know what I'm saying? So they took advantage of my teachings, and they use it for their own purpose. And I gotta be very protective of that, because that's my baby. That's what makes our Kwoon. It's like, that's what gives us an edge over the other places out there. And if you got people coming in here,
you don't want to be trained competitors, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I mean, when it comes to this capitalistic world, I mean, that's war out there in the business world. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta be prepared for that. I gotta be prepared for the business world war. And I can't be putting out all my teachings out there and letting people like just profit off of everything that I'm making. Like, say I got a YouTube video out there, and then like, for example, this guy contacted me from marketing department. It's like, hey, you know, can you make me a 30-minute stretching video? I'll pay you money. And he paid me like $250, right? I was like, that's great. Somebody actually paid me for my time. But imagine somebody out there, they took my 30-minute video without my permission, and then they profited like $5,000 from it. You know, that's theft right there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I gotta be protective of. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I gotta protect. You know, and I know when the people step into that door, you know, are you in it for yourself, or are you going to be a part of this management team? If you're not going to be a part of this management team, then this is your rate, and I'm going to keep it strictly like professional and business. But if you're a part of the management team, then hey, I might give you a little extra training on the side, because you're a part of the management team. You're going to help this place grow, because you know what? You brought in 10 people. And you're helping expand this place. You're constantly promoting and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be like a management team, and then the customers, and it has to be clarified which one are you? You know what I'm saying? It has to be very clear. You know.
Right.
So that's pretty much what it is. You know, something that I really know like has to be done. You know.
Yeah, well, that's your real Todai right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, not the person that just bought a $20 shirt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do need to be thinking about these things, because we actually, you know, the Kwoon should be with how much even online, with how many subscribers and stuff we have,
Yeah.
we should be making a lot more money.
Yeah.
You know, for the Kwoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're doing something wrong.
No, it's not that we're doing it wrong, man. It's like, actually, you know, I don't want to be too negative. I mean, really, we've grown like well, you know what I'm saying? It's just that with the growth, there's gonna be people that quit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just that we're hitting a critical moment, and there is so much emotion involved because of the family thing, you know? So much emotion that it is dragging us behind, you know? And I gotta cut that emotion off, continue forward with this new way, and then just basically be able to like make sure that I select the management team a lot more carefully. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hold on for a sec. Hello? Yeah. Alright, bye. Yeah, so that's what I gotta do, you know what I mean? Basically, like, have like a more thorough interview process with these people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, even through the interview process, I mean, it takes time to get to know somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody can represent themselves in an interview, you know, in ways that aren't, you know, you're not going to learn as much through the interview as you're going to learn after you spend a few months with them, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of it taking time to get to know somebody and getting a sense of what they're, you know, what is the relationship they're really looking for, right? Because once they're in and they're trained enough, you'll start to get the sense of that. I think, you know, whether somebody is volunteering to give services toward the Kwoon over and above what they're paying, or whether somebody is just in it to have a client relationship.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get that sense once they're in. You're not going to get it really from the interview. The interview is important to kind of weed out what's their purpose there, to see if they're even fit for Zen martial arts. But even at that, you won't know if they're fit for that kind of inner circle management team until they get going. And what are they doing? What are they willing to do for the Kwoon on their own, that they take it up themselves, you know, to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's just like a lot more clarified of how to do this the right way, you know, and like having that management team and that help is very important, you know.
Yeah.
Because like I said, man, I can't do everything on my own, man. It's just, I see like, you know, to really run a martial arts school, it's not just about doing a bunch of push-ups. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, doing a few techniques. I mean, this shit is freaking hard, man. I mean, it's difficult. It's not easy, man. And there's a lot of stuff you gotta watch out for, man. People suing you and protecting, you know, your rights, and the law getting involved. I mean, there's so much. Right. You know.
Well, it's one thing if you've got some other separate career that you're doing, and then you train people in martial arts on your off time and stuff. Then you can go full tilt. But when you're talking about trying to make a living off of it and make a real business out of it, it gets pretty complicated.
Yeah, it's hard, you know. And you know, I'll do the best that I can, man. But it is a struggle, you know, especially with a wife and kids and stuff like that, you know. And it's just, man, just understanding people too, man. Just like understanding how sensitive people are, and how the jealousies and just the insecurities, the competitiveness is just like vast, you know.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, it's like stepping into like trying to like take care of like 30 patients that are like mentally unstable or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. You know, like 30 patients that are mentally unstable. You know, so you gotta be like their psychologist And on top of that, you gotta train them in fitness. And on top of that, you gotta teach them how to fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, you know, this is a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
So, it's just, and another thing is, it's so hard to teach on the spirit in a public way when you train them directly, because they take it so personal. You know what I'm saying? You know, like how could you say this about me? And you know what I'm saying? But it's almost like you can't even speak spiritual matters in the Kwoon, because then you risk losing the person. You know what I'm saying? Because then they take it personal. So then what it does is you just end up sticking just to the fitness and the combat, and then they lack the spiritual. And then the few people that are brave enough to watch the videos that I make, then they may progress spiritually. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or if they read their own books on the side or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the spiritual is extremely difficult to teach on a mass level, because say you got a group of 5 people, and you got to talk to 1 or 2 of those people about their spiritual development, them being too jealous, them being too competitive, and you bring it up in front of other people, then they just quit. How could you ever do that? You know what I'm saying? You try to discipline me in front of other people. Oh my God, how can you do that? All this nonsense, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, now that hurts your business. You know, and then you pull them to the side, they still get upset. And then it takes away from the training. You know, so it's like the spiritual is like so hard to implement in indirect training, that's why so many people are abusing the martial arts, because they don't have spiritual development. So for every day that they spend in the gym training for martial arts, they should spend another day in the couch of a psychologist. That's pretty much the way it should go, because then they give equal attention. But they're not doing that. They spend 50,000 days in the gym and then not even 1 day on the couch, you know, with a psychologist, or not just a psychologist, but just reading on books or something, you know. And that's why everybody's all messed up out there, like when it comes to spirituality, you know what I'm saying? And then what happens is they start blaming me. Like they'll be like, how could you say this about me, and look at you, look at your life, and all this other stuff, and they make it seem like I'm the one that needs help. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know what? This is just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting paid for this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, like the spirit is just so hard to integrate into the martial arts when you're teaching it publicly. It's just so hard. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's part of it is about that whole authority thing, hey? Like, for instance, when I was growing up, when I was doing Kung Fu growing up, you know, there was a couple of, you know, the guy that I was trained under, he was a hard disciplinarian sometimes, but it wasn't a verbal disciplinarian, he was a physical disciplinarian. And so, like, one time, I would try to do, like, a jumping, spinning back kick before I was taught how to. And he got mad at that I was playing with techniques that he hadn't been trying to teach me yet. So he did one on me. He said, no, this is how it's done. And he did a jumping, spinning back kick and knocked me across the room. And, you know, I just had to suck it up, and that's the way it was. He taught me not to do that. But I seen him, you know, people come and go from that school because he'd do stuff like that to them too. And, you know, most people, if that happens to them, they're like, that's it. I'm done. Right?
Yeah.
I don't need this crap. And it's the same thing with verbal discipline. I think there's, you know, some people are going to be willing to move on with the relationship, you know, after getting yelled at. And, you know, some people are not going to be able to take that, and it's because of, you know, it's because of the relationship, you know, how they really view you. You know, if you really are a Sifu to them, then they're going to stay with it, even if they have to suffer some of that stuff once in a while, you know. They got to take the lesson from it. But if they're viewing you more as a friend than a Sifu, then then that's just it's going to hurt either way. Like emotionally, when somebody you trust does, you know, yells at you or kicks you halfway across the room. You know, either way, that kind of hurts emotionally, right? But if you're their Sifu for real, then they're gonna stay it out, right? They're gonna learn from it, and you know, there's pain in relationships. That's just the way it is especially with the relationship with the Sifu. If they're gonna be tough with you once in a while, that's what has to be done. But there's, you know, a lot of people won't do that, right? A lot of people won't you know, it'll just be viewed as a betrayal to the relationship, and they'll leave, right? So, you know, who you're gonna discipline, again, there you're gonna have to make a separation between who are the real Todais that can handle that and who are, you know, in a different kind of relationship with you, right? Because I think if you know, if you go off on somebody that's not ready for the relationship to be at that level, then that's it for them. You know, they're out the door.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, like, separating all this the service that I deliver and specifying that is very important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like like personal fitness, self-defense, Zen fitness, meditation, Zen martial arts. Zen martial arts is the only one that's gonna have that harsh discipline. All the other four are business oriented. I cater to them, I'm nice to them, and just let them, you know, create their own little fairyland, you know, positive environment. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, you're right about that. You know, and in this culture, it lacks that type of training. I mean, it's not allowed. You know what I'm saying? You get kicked across the room right now, man. You get a lawsuit coming at your ass. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, it's like, you know, people just can't handle it, man. It's like this culture, pretty much this is what it is. The culture is run by children. Spoiled freaking children that are trying to tell their parents what to do. That's what the culture's run by. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Daddy, I want this, okay. Daddy, I want that, okay. Daddy, okay. Like, Daddy, I'm gonna run all over you, okay. It's like they have no discipline whatsoever. Like, as far as like, basically like an acceptance of authority. And that's why everybody's jumping from job to job to job, because they can't accept authority. Like, every single boss they got a problem with. You know, because at home, they never learned to kind of like accept authority, you know, like, they just, it's like, and that's why when it comes to martial arts, it's just so hard to teach. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't want to accept that. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, at the same time, you know, it's hard to be strict on people, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know you're sacrificing the business, and you know you don't want to hurt the person's feelings, but then it's like inevitable, you know, it's like, it's what you gotta do. You know, and like, you know, just being like a police officer, for example, like, writing people parking tickets and writing them speeding tickets might not feel too, it doesn't feel too good, because you're punishing somebody, and they don't like that. They don't like that. Like, even if they're going like 30 miles an hour over the speed limit, they don't want to get that ticket. You know what I'm saying? And they're not gonna like you. But then that's part of your job, because if you don't do it, they might hit somebody and kill somebody. You know, so you're put in a position where you gotta discipline certain people, and you're not gonna be liked by a lot of people. So basically, when it comes to Zen martial arts, a lot of the damn people in there may not like me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying things that hurt. You know what I'm saying? Unless they had that understanding that, hey, you know what, like, he's you know, I have this understanding that, you know, he's in this position, and that's why he's doing this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that's right.
You know, I mean, I mean, and I'm very lenient on people, so much to the point where like people just kind of take advantage. But it's like I don't really yell at people unless I really have a reason to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, you know, that's the way it is with somebody who uses discipline in the right ways. I mean, there's a time to use it. Most of the time, you can be, you know, joking, friendly, and everything, but you know, if you're really their teacher, that sometimes you got to be, you know, pretty strict. It's like having kids, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like with my daughter, I'm really, you know, I'm very, very much like friends with my daughter. But when, you know, growing up, when she'd do something that was really, you know, endangering herself or something, then yeah, you gotta like,
yeah,
you gotta tell her in no uncertain terms, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that means yelling and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yup. So it's just like, it's extremely difficult to be a parent, and it's extremely difficult to train, you know, and be a Sifu for certain people and whatnot. And really, like, being a parent, I'm really thankful that I have the help of the schools, you know, because they really help the kids, you know, learn and stuff, you know. And, you know,
Right.
being, like I said, you know, if you know, running a martial arts school and being a Sifu, I really need help of like a management team to make it run more efficiently, because doing it by yourself is extremely difficult. You know,
Yeah.
so it's just a lot of things to put into consideration. It's just like, another thing is, if the people aren't fit for the martial arts, and that's not what they're looking for anyway, and that's not where the market is, then it's almost like 90% of the business should be focused on like the personal training and the fitness and the Zen meditation and then the self-defense, and then the rest is on the Zen martial arts for those selected people, you know.
Yeah, I think you know, a lot of people they could be moved into the self-defense and fitness training, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be going in that direction, because I think that's what a lot of people think that the martial arts is anyway. Is really what they're there for is the self-defense training.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they're not really in it for the full spectrum martial arts.
Yeah. And that's why it's like, you know, it's like I gotta focus on developing the business. That's my job. And then my time, my YouTube, everything that I do online, and when I videotape myself training and all that, that's like the martial arts right there. It's not even like, just like you're saying, you know, you have your own full-time job, and then on the side you do the martial arts. That's kind of how it is with me too. Because, you know, that's just how it has to be. I can't turn the massive population into martial artists, because they're not fit for it. They can't be. There's no way. It's impossible. It's impossible, basically. To turn massive amounts of people into martial arts. It just does not work like that. It's not something that just, it's not like Jimmy John's where you just create a sandwich and then you just make all these franchises everywhere. It's not like that. I mean, this is something, like, it might take 20 years to develop one person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, imagine, like, if you just had like 100 kids, like you literally had 100 kids, like you had sex with somebody and you had 100 kids. I mean, how difficult will that be to get all 100 of those kids, say something basic, to get graduate from college? It's not gonna happen in 5 years, because in 5 years they're 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? 5 years, they're 5 years old. How are they gonna get a college degree in 5 years? No. Okay? So, you know, even 18 years, they still can't get the college degree at 18 years. It takes a minimum of maybe 21 years, and then after 21 years, how many of those kids have the college degree? Maybe like 30 of them, if that. And
then, maybe, because if you got 100 kids, I'm having a hard time even figuring how you can buy school supplies for grade 1.
Exactly. You know?
They might not even get a kindergarten education if you got 100 kids.
That's what I'm saying. 100 kids and only 2 parents, and that's it. You know, it's like, you know, if you're gonna have 100 kids, you better have like a bunch of nannies and everybody helping out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That's what the management team is for. You know, it's for like, it's like the management team is like the nannies that are helping out. You know. All right, can you hold on for a sec? All right.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna stop that video right there too.
Sounds good.